Welcome to the Battlerite Basics. I am your host, Guns. Today we're going to talk about all the basics in Battlerite that you should know as a new player. So first off, where can you get Battlerite? I've heard about this game. It looks cool. I don't know if I want to buy it or not. Guess what? It's free! That's right. Battlerite is a free game in the Steam store. Not Battle fucking Islands. What? No. Battlerite. There you go. It's free to play. Now, there are some restrictions with a free-to-play account. I am a founder, so I have all champions pack and everything like that. And one of the things I do recommend, if you enjoy the game, is to get the all champions pack. $30, all future and current champions, no matter what, you get them. It's great. It's fantastic. It's a great model that works wonderfully. So, what now? Okay, so you have Battlerite. Let's say you're on the free-to-play version. One of the things I recommend, first off, that you do, come do the tutorial. It's in practice mode. Do the tutorial. Why? There's a lot of things in this game, just like League of Legends and Dota and Smite. Some abilities counter others. Other abilities do not counter, other abilities, even though they're kind of labeled as the same things. Every ability is kind of character specific. For instance, counters can counter some things, but not all things. What specifically do they counter? AoE effects, things like that, direct hits, melees, immaterial. Immaterial is pretty much a safe zone entirely, but you usually can't do any damage, I believe, during immaterial, except maybe Shifu. I think Shifu can. Generally during immaterial, though, that's a getaway thing. You're using that to escape. The tutorial doesn't walk you through a lot of that stuff, but it gives you the basics about what those kinds of things do, what effects do, how to play the game in general. It's a really good thing to go through, and it gives you gold and chests. So do the tutorial because it's going to give you some free cosmetics to begin with. Okay, the playground. This is where I recommend you spend the next part of your time while you're learning Battlerite. Why? Well, in here, you can come in here and you can pick any character that you want, okay? Any character that you want, and you can sit here and play with them, learn them, and figure them out if you know nothing about them. It's fantastic. And you can also use their Battlerites. You can determine which Battlerites are going to be best for you. Come in here and play with your characters. You can turn off cooldowns and energy so that, you notice I don't have the full meter down here. Oh, and what's a full meter? I'll explain that in a second. But I can just go ahead and do my supers, because, you know. So, when you're in Battlerite, you see currently I have one little bar lit up down here, and then amongst the four. The most I can have is 4. I can't have any more than 4. I can definitely have less than 4, though, like I currently do. So when I have 4 bars, or when I have 1 bar, it means I can use my 1 bar abilities, my shift abilities. So if you press shift, like I have right now, when using a character, you'll notice, oh, there's different abilities there. Well, there's your normal set of abilities for each character, which consist of left click, right click, space, Q, E, R, and F, and then Z summons your mount, and then pressing a Z again while you're on your mount gives you Yeehaw, which gives you a speed buff to get into areas faster, or to get out. Another thing people don't think about in Battlerite, when they're playing, use your mount to get away. If you're in a situation where you're being collapsed on, and you have enough time to get on your mount, and then fucking Z the fuck out of there. Because they're not going to catch you, and most of their abilities won't hit either. Most of the time, unless you're dealing with some pretty veteran players, okay? So use your mount as an escape option. That's one thing I always recommend to players. If somebody's like from here to like this guy, if they're like from here to here, don't be pressing Z and then like, oh, because they're going to be right on your ass chasing you, okay? But, you know, if you can go around a corner, get some cover, Z up and run to the other side, maybe grab some orbs and whatnot, that's great. So shift abilities. Notice I have bar. So here's what my regular right click does, and here's what my shift right click does. It's different. Now, how is it different? Well, you can visually see that it's different, right? It shoots a projectile in a line as opposed to an AoE, and there's pretty big differences between that. So if I right click, I can hit 3 people. But if I shift right click, I can only hit 1 person. Doesn't matter how much I do it, but so that person gets an additional status effect. Blind. Toxic. Blind. If we let blind run out, we can still see that Toxic's there, so they get blind and Toxic. Now, unfortunately, currently Battlerite has no real way of showing that somebody's under effect of multiple status effects, which I think they really need to do. They only show you the most recently added status effect. So if I Toxin this guy, and then I blind him, well, that worked. If I Toxin this guy, and then I blind him, if I Toxin this guy, and then I blind him, it's going to show blind. It can't show Toxin and blind at the same time. I think that's something they need to change so that you know enemies are under multiple status effects. And that's actually the same way it works with you. Camouflage, but I'm going to turn on my Toxin blades, but they're on. But I don't know that they're on. I can see the green glow, but like, it's not above my head, so I don't technically know that they're on. And see, sometimes my blades turn green, but sometimes they don't. See, they turn green there, but they don't there. So I don't have any kind of indication that my Toxic Blades is actually active for Croak. Usually it's the last one that's applied. Let me give you another example here. If I Shift Q, Incapacitate, Stun. So the Stun overrides the Incapacitate, but in this instance, the blind does not override the Toxin. See, he's still taking damage from Toxin. So multiple effects. That needs to be something to keep in mind, though. And that's something for you to know, is that you're only going to see one effect on the time. Even if he does have blind, and Toxic attached to him, you're only going to see one of them. But the Toxin's still there. And that's for multiple characters across multiple things, okay? So shift abilities add that extra effect, which can lead to things like that happening. Or if you're just really, really quick, like let's say Toxin, but he's rooted. This guy's rooted right now, or he was rooted. So here you go. Toxin, he's rooted right now though. How do I know he's rooted right now? Do I not have that on? Oh, I don't have that on. There it is. It reduced some of them. So, Toxin, rooted right now. You can't tell he's Toxin during the amount of time that he's rooted, but it's the last effect that was applied, then it rolls off and shows. So, just so you guys know that exists. The status effects are important, shift abilities are important, and you can read them, so I'll show you another place you can read these later on, but if you hover above these while you're in the playground, you can read the entire effect here. The recharge duration, energy gain, cast times, some have impact delays, and what's an impact delay? Okay. So, right click. So it's a 0.8 second delay, almost a full second from where I right click. So let's count that. 1 Mississippi. Now I'm a little slow of a counter. 1 Mississippi. So that's about 0.8 of a second. So that's your impact delay. From your right click to when it lands. That's what an impact delay is. From your, let's say for instance, that doesn't have, what else has it? Nothing else has an impact delay on him, I don't think. No, nothing has an impact delay. So, abilities that have travel time, basically, the impact delay is essentially the travel time, or till it makes contact with the place that you clicked on. The energy gain is the percentage energy gain you would get, so for every right click, I gain 5% of 4 bars. To demonstrate that, well, it's not going to demonstrate that because that's gone now. Let me turn that off. So we have no cooldowns, but 5%. 5 of them equals 25%. 4 bars divided, 100% divided by 4, because I have 4 bars is 25%. So if I do 5 more, I should gain another bar. 3, 4, 5. There you go. So that's how much energy you gain per. And some characters will have high gaining energy moves. Some people don't have any kind of energy, or some people don't have moves that gain energy. Some players, every move gains energy, which means they get their super very quickly. That's something they try to balance out. For me, it's my right click and my space. So as a Croak player, you want to use those abilities as often as possible. Your right click and your space. It means you're going to get your super more. So that's super, and those are your shift abilities, okay? Then of course you have your cooldowns. Now if we turn that off, 6-second cooldown. So the ability goes down, and if you right click here, look at that. You see that coming up where the enemy is, wherever my mouse is? 6, 5, 4. So that tells you, hey, that's on cooldown. Puts a visual indication right there for you on screen, and there's also one down there as well. So, spend a lot of time in Playground. Playground's going to be where you learn Battlerites. You can mess around and figure out where, you know, different things are. You can turn off energy and cooldowns and just go to town and figure out, man, that was a really good combo, or mess around with things. It has a lot of environments for you to play around in. For instance, it has this general setup here. It has a large target here, which you can just beat on. He has 500 health. The most a champion can have, I believe, is 250. So then it has this section here in case you're wanting to test something like getting all 3 in a row like that. Then it has a grouped up in case you're wanting to test AoEs. Then it has over here a target dummy that's friendly with a blue health bar above it that's being attacked. So you can figure out ways, how can I come in here and prevent this from happening? With, well, let me give you, I was going to say, I can't show you an example, but I'm here. So I can do this. So this prevents damage to the target dummy and also gives you something else. So you can figure out ways how to negate damage like that, or practice negating damage in times with this fireball. It also gives you a moving target here. That'll be adjusted by how you hit him, so you can learn how to gauge moving targets better. And then finally, there's this dude who shoots at you actively. So you can do a couple things here, and that's like practice strafing. Like, what's minimum safe strafing distance from most abilities? Some abilities travel faster than others, but... So like if I'm too close here, and I'm strafing, then I get hit. But if I back up, then I'm fine because I'm strafing fast enough and it doesn't have time to reach me. And then of course there's an ultimate orb here. And you can practice with all these things and learn all kinds of different things here. If you do this, well, there's a bunch of different things you can learn in here, and how long the orb respawns, and, you know, learning to gauge that in Battlerite, orbs in the center. So that's Playgrounds, and I highly recommend that you practice in them. Once you're comfortable with the champion, you're going to want to go to Versus AI. Now, I want to give a very clear warning here. AI do not play at all like normal players. At all like normal players. They're extremely aggressive and often very stupid with their abilities and how they use them. What playing against AI is going to be good for is for you to utilize combos on moving targets that are actively using their moves against you as well. And just staying alive to constant harassment. That's about the only thing. AI are also sometimes very stupid and just seem to miss purposely, like whiff entirely. So AI are not good practice in terms of tactics and strategy, because obviously people are going to reply or react differently to those. So really, if you're wanting to practice tactics and strategies and things like that with a 2v2 or a 3v3 teammates, you want to go to Casuals. So there's Casuals League and Battlegrounds, and then there's Private. Private, you can play Casuals League and Battlegrounds. Casuals is just no ranked, nothing. There is an MMR to it, but it's 2v2s and 3v3s. League is 2v2s, 3v3s, seasonal based. And actually, don't quote me on the MMR for Casuals. I'm not 100% sure about that now that I think about it. And then there's Battlegrounds. Battlegrounds is a 3v3 mode where you kind of have a Titan that you have to do activities around the map to make their enemy Titan damageable. And then there's levels based, and you can attack and defend and everything like that. One of the last things I want to show you guys, those are most of the basic things. Actually, I have two things that I want to show you before we end today. So if you're a free-to-play player, your big thing you're going to worry about is your gold. You'll have quests here. They're daily, weekly, event, and achievement. We do currently have event ones going on for special mounts, but there's also achievement-based where you'll get chests and whatnot. And then there's weekly-based and daily-based ones. I highly recommend you always look at these and do them. And yes, going against the AI counts for these, except for leveling up your account. I don't know if you can level your account against AI. I don't think you can. But you know, playing multiple ranged or support or melee champions works against AI. So you can do it against AI if you have a hard time playing any kind of champions that you like. One of the things I recommend you do is pick 1 or 2 champions that you think you'll like, learn them. If you don't like them after you've learned them, pick another. But once you've learned a champion and you gravitated towards it, really try to start just playing that champion as much as possible. Earn the gold and completely unlock that champion so you never have to worry about rotations of that champion. And then, of course, if you like the game enough and you can afford it, buy the $30 hero pack. The last thing I want to show you guys today is how to get 4 free mounts, okay? So if you go to Battlerite.com and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, so here's the top of the page with Freya. Scroll all the way down to the bottom, you're going to have 4 rewards here: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. If you just click, if you click on them, it'll show you what to do specifically at this page. Subscribe to them on YouTube, you'll get the free sweet candy corn mount. You'll get the magic carpet. This one is a green magic carpet, and you get the Twitch acorn. I believe I have all these. Here's the royal carpet. Red magic carpet. This is the Facebook one, the green magic carpet, the Twitch acorn, and the sweet candy corn. And then, of course, there's various other mounts for you to unlock. That's going to do it for me, though, guys. If you have any other questions about Battlerite, or there's anything else you would like to know, let me know. Leave a comment down below in the comments of this video, and if there's enough of a specific question, I may address it in a video, or if there's a general type of question, I may make videos addressing that. If you guys want to support the channel, you can do so over at patreon.com/3gunsdown. You can support us on a monthly basis. With none of that ad revenue bullshit on YouTube, because we all know there's no such thing as ad revenue on YouTube anymore. You can come watch me stream live over at twitch.tv, or you can, that's about it, yeah. You can follow me on Twitter. You can do that. I don't really care if you follow me on Twitter. I bitch a lot on there. You probably won't like it on there. I'm Guns. Thank you guys for watching the Battlerite Basics video. I'll see you later.